Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. It's a Friday night. Man, and it has been a long weekend, y'all. Or shoot, it's been a long week. All right. And we are right now, I said I was going to be on when this thing started to pop off, when Biden was going to go live and speak, and I just missed it. So I try to be a man of my word as much as I can, and I want us to watch this together. You know what I'm saying? We got to see this with our own two peepers, with our own two eyes, see this speech. If you missed it, we are going to watch it live together because I kind of watched it, but I didn't get to watch the full thing. So we are going to watch it together. Jalen, good evening. Hello. And hello to everyone who is about to be jumping on. You know what I mean? I didn't even know. I was watching CNN. I was watching all the, major media circuits, media outlets, mainstream media channels you could think of. And they just kept on saying, he's going to. So then, I started watching Lovecraft Country. And then next thing you know, I turn around and he had already done it. And I'm like, damn. I just missed it like this close. So I said, you know what? All right, let me pop on here because I told you guys I would be on when he went on. And so, hey, I'm a little bit behind on it, but let's check it out, shall we? Let's go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Kamal and I are here to make a brief statement. And I'm sure we'll have more to say later, and either tonight or tomorrow. But let me begin by thanking the press for being here and thanking everyone else. My fellow Americans, yesterday once again proved that democracy is the heartbeat of this nation. Just as it has been the heartbeat of this nation for 2 centuries. And even in the face of a pandemic, more Americans voted this election than ever before in American history. Over 150 million people cast their votes. I think that's just extraordinary. And if we had any doubts, we shouldn't have any longer about a government of, by, and for the people. It's very much alive in America. Here, the people rule. Power can't be taken or asserted. It flows from the people, and it's their will that determines who will be the President of the United States, and their will alone. And now, after a long night of counting, it's clear that we're winning enough states to reach 270 electoral votes needed to win the presidency. I'm not here to declare that we've won, but I am here to report when the count is finished, we believe we will be the winners.
Wrong one. Hold up. Sorry, guys. That is the wrong one. That's the first one. My bad. Hold on 1 second. Now, this was streamed on Washington Post. This is the one I watched. And the thing is, what's very interesting about this one is like suddenly the thing cuts out, like the video cuts out. You get to hear what he has to say and everything, but unfortunately, the whole thing cuts out. So let me do this again. Sorry, guys. This is the real one. My bad. False alarm. Caught ya. Anyway, let's listen to this one.
Where it would be relevant potentially if there was an adverse ruling on those mail.
Here we go.
He feels like he's the best communications director for Donald Trump. And so if Biden's out there talking, we're not going to see Trump go out to the podium tonight.
No bond.
Shocking, but we could see the president do something tomorrow.
James, let's go now live to Wilmington. Joe Biden.
This was live about 20 minutes ago.
My fellow Americans.
Here we go.
We don't have a final declaration of victory yet, but the numbers tell us it's clear, tell us a clear and convincing story. We're going to win this race. Just look at what has happened since yesterday. 24 hours, we were behind in Georgia, now we're ahead, and we're going to win that state. 24 hours ago, we were behind in Pennsylvania, and we are going to win Pennsylvania. And now we're ahead, but we're winning in Arizona, we're winning in Nevada, and in fact, our lead just doubled in Nevada. We're on track to over 300 electoral votes, electoral college votes. And look at the national numbers. We're going to win this race with a clear majority of the nation behind us. We've gotten over 74 million votes. Let me repeat that, 74 million votes. That's more than any presidential ticket has ever gotten in the history of the United States of America. And our vote total is still growing. We're beating Donald Trump by over 4 million votes. And that's a margin that's still growing as well. One of the things I'm especially proud of is how well we've done across America. And we're going to be the first Democrat to win in Arizona in 24 years. We're going to be the first Democrat to win Georgia in 28 years. And we've rebuilt the blue wall in the middle of the country that crumbled just 4 years ago. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, the heartland of this nation. I know watching these vote tallies on TV moves very slow, and as slow as it goes, it can be numbing. But never forget, the tallies aren't just numbers. They represent votes and voters, men and women who exercise their fundamental right to have their voice heard. And what's becoming clear each hour is that record number of Americans of all races, faiths, religions chose change over more of the same. They've given us a mandate for action on COVID, the economy, climate change, systemic racism. They made it clear they want the country to come together, not continue to pull apart. The people spoke, more than 74 million Americans, and they spoke loudly for our ticket. But while we're waiting for the final results, I want people to know we're not waiting to get the work done and start the process. Yesterday, Senator Harris and I held meetings with groups of experts on public health and the economic crisis this country is facing. The pandemic, as you also know, is getting more worrisome all across the country. Daily cases are skyrocketing, and it's now believed that we could see as many as 200,000 cases in a single day. The death toll is approaching 240,000 lives lost to this virus. That's 240,000 empty chairs, kitchen tables, and dining room tables all across America. We'll never be able to measure all that pain and the loss, the suffering that so many families have experienced. We know something about what it feels like to lose someone. And I want them to know they're not alone. Our hearts break with you. We want everyone to know on day one, we're going to put our plan to control this virus into action. We can't save any of the lives lost, any of those who have been lost, but we can save a lot of lives in the months ahead. Senator Harris and I also heard yesterday about how this recovery is slowing because of the failure to get the pandemic under control. More than 20 million people are on unemployment. Millions are worried about making rent and putting food on the table. Our economic plan will put a focus on a path to a strong recovery. Look, we both know tensions are high. They can be high after a tough election, one like we've had. But we need to remember, we have to remain calm, patient. Let the process work out as we count all the votes. You know, we're proving again what we've proved for 244 years in this country. Democracy works. Your vote will be counted. I don't care how hard people try to stop it. I will not let it happen. The people will be heard. Our journey is toward a more perfect union, and it keeps moving on. In America, We hold strong views. We have strong disagreements, and that's okay. Strong disagreements are inevitable in a democracy, and strong disagreements are healthy.
Stay with it.
They're a sign of a vigorous debate, of deeply held views. But we have to remember, the purpose of our politics isn't total, unrelenting, unending warfare. No, the purpose of our politics, the work of the nation, isn't to fan the flames of conflict, but to solve problems, to guarantee justice, to give everybody a fair shot, and to improve the lives of our people. We may be opponents, but we're not enemies. We're Americans. No matter who you voted for, I'm certain of one thing. The vast majority of almost 150 million Americans who voted, they want to get the vitriol out of our politics. We're certainly not going to agree on a lot of issues, but at least we can agree to be civil with one another. We have to put the anger and the demonization behind us. It's time for us to come together as a nation to heal. It's not going to be easy, but we have to try. My responsibility as president will be to represent the whole nation. And I want you to know that I'll work as hard for those who voted against me as those who voted for me. That's the job. That's the job. It's called the duty of care for all Americans. We have serious problems to deal with, from COVID to the economy to racial justice to climate change. We don't have any more time to waste on partisan warfare. You know, and more than that, we have such an incredible opportunity to build the future we want for our kids and our grandkids. I've said many, many times, I've never been more optimistic about the future of this nation. There is no reason we can't own the 21st century. We just need to remember who we are. This is the United States of America. And there's never been anything we've been unable to do, unable to accomplish when we've done it together. I hope to be talking to you tomorrow. I want to thank you all, and may God bless you, and may God protect our troops. Good night.
So there you have it. Biden comes out, says his thing. Actually, this time a little bit more confident. He says, hey, y'all, looks like I'm going to win this piece, man. Looks like I'm coming home with the W. Now, here it is. Of course, there's a lot of people that feel some type of way, understandably. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people feel like there's fraudulent votes that are going on out there in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona. I mean, you name it. Pretty much every place, Michigan, Wisconsin. I mean, you name it. Every place is literally being recounted, or everything is still on being, very, suspect. Things are hella sus right now. And the thing is, the only thing we can do is sit back, wait for the verdict, wait for the actual announcement of who is going to actually win, and then react. Now, I understand something that he is saying, which I give him mad props for, because he's not really going down the route of like, hey, this is all trash, this is all blah, blah, blah. Of course, he's not going to say that when you're winning, right? When you're winning, you're not going to sit there and say that. You're just going to sit there, do your thing as the hopeful new president of the United States. You're going to stay as diplomatic as you can and say, hey, I love all America. I represent all America. I'm not just representing one side. I feel like he is literally saying what Trump should be saying, what Trump should have been saying when he was talking when he had his last press briefing about the speeches, about the votes and the results that he was getting. Instead of this, he kind of had this 20-30 minute rant that was kind of like Birdshot, y'all. It was a lot like Birdshot. And the thing is like, you can see two completely different people reacting to the votes and to the, how everything's going all over the country. Understandably, Biden's going to have one way. He's going to react one way because, let's be real, he winning up in this piece. If he was losing, he probably would be responding in a completely different way. But at the same time, still, the way he is reacting, the way he is talking about things, the way he is responding, and how he is approaching things, he's approaching things a little bit more presidential, if you will. And maybe that's what he's doing. He is grabbing those things, trying to put on those shoes, you know what I'm saying? Those presidential shoes real quick to see how they fit. And so it's just interesting, when you see two completely different people and how they react, two completely different people reacting to the same thing. Now, you could look at one side and feel some type of way. You could look at Biden and say, oh, it's fraud, it's voter fraud, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if it is voter fraud, I feel has nothing to do with it. That's what I personally think. I don't think he is the one back there trying to, like some crazy puppet master, pulling the strings of this whole voter fraud, plan. You know what I mean? I think behind this whole voter fraud scheme or something like that. I don't think he has anything to do with it. I think he's honestly feeling like he is about to win, and he's excited about it. You see? And understandably, he's excited. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are excited. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of people that are excited. So I also keep saying, what are the possibilities of this being somebody? What if this is just proof that the country is actually speaking? That democracy is actually working out to its, by actually speaking on behalf of what majority Americans want. That maybe they're tired of Trump. Maybe they want Trump out. You see what I'm saying? I can't sit here and say that I know that there's I know a lot of Trump supporters and I know a lot of Biden supporters. But then there's a lot of people I feel that act like they're Biden supporters, but they're Trump supporters. And I see a lot of people who act like they're Trump supporters, but they're actually Biden supporters. So you never know who they're voting for when they walk into that ballot, into that little booth to make their vote happen. You just don't know. You just don't know. So as much as we see people out here going Trump 2020 out in the streets, they could be voting completely different. That's a real possibility, y'all. Whether you like Biden or not, let's just sit back, wait for the verdicts to happen, wait for the announcement to be made, whether he has won or not. And then let's see what they do in regards to counting, recounting all these votes and whatnot. I think that's what we need to do. And I hope that whenever they do make the verdict, us as an American people can react to it in a civil manner, because the last thing we need to do is see the world go to complete trash, go get set on fire. We don't need that right now. We've already had that enough for well over several months already. I think this speech that he made was very well written. He had a good team of writers behind him to write what needed to be written. He read it well for the most part. And he did what he had to do, which is to communicate to the people and say, hey, I don't only represent one side. I'm not only just a Democrat, like a Democrat's president. I am also the Republicans' president. I am the America's president. I want to bridge the gap. I want to bring people together, not separate them and tear them apart. And that's the thing I feel like a lot of people in America are wanting to hear right now. I don't know about y'all. I know there's a lot of people out there that feel some type of way, feel a little bit different. But I don't know. But for me, I'm ready for a little bit more unity, for sure. And like I said, I'm looking through your comments, real talk, and there's, it's very split down the middle. There are people who feel like he is, full of ish. It's all about voter fraud. And of course, there are people who just don't want him in office. And then there's other people that are just like, Trump's a crybaby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm reading King C's comment right now. There ain't no voter fraud. Trump is just a crybaby. You know what I'm saying? Very well. That could very well be the thing. Or maybe not. Maybe he knows something that we don't know as the general public. You know what I mean? You never know. You never know. So I'm interested to sit back and actually see the actual things that are going to unfold. We got to see what happens here, because it's a real mess, y'all. This whole thing is a complete and utter mess. And there could very well be some votes, a couple 100,000 votes that may have slipped through the cracks. Could very well be. And I'm just playing devil's advocate here. That's all I'm doing. But with his speech, I think his speech was much better, was said very well, was written very well, was delivered very well. And like I said, I think we're all ready for America to kind of calm down and cool off a little bit. We've been on fire for a little while. And I'd love to find somebody that can help turn some fans on. You know what I'm saying? And turn the heat off. And Fernando, I'm exactly the same way. Thank you so much for the comment as well. He said, I don't care who wins as long as it's a fair election. I agree. If it ends up being Trump, I'm okay with it. We've already had him for 10 years, for 4 years. What's another 4? You know what I mean? If you are somebody who does not like Trump, and Biden, if Biden wins, hey, well, here's an opportunity for someone to try to give them a shot. Let them step up to the plate and take a few cracks at it. You know what I'm saying? It's not an easy job. And no one's ever going to be fully happy. No, not one American is going to be fully happy with a president's delivery or how they do their job. But as long as there's a fair election, there is no fraudulent crap going on, then I will fully embrace whoever ends up being elected. Real quick. Transparency and merit. Thank you so much for the $5 tip. If Biden brings back critical race theory, that won't bring us together. America could end up a balkanized nation with a very hostile faction. You know what? You got a very good point there. You have a very, very good point. And I hope that doesn't happen. And the thing is that you got Biden and Kamala that are not very, the black community is not a big fan of either one for what they've done in the past. So hopefully the past does not come back and they try to hit repeat on some things that they've done, in their past political careers. I'm hoping that they will right their wrongs from this point on. That's what I truly hope for, That's what I truly, truly hope for. And Jalen, I agree. There should be no bloodshed. We are all human. We are supposed to be different. Absolutely. But that's what's so sad. I feel like for 4 years, we have just been polarized and pulled apart because of our differences. We all need to get together, be under the same roof, sit at the same dinner table and eat and understand that we are all in this together, despite our differences. That we are all different. And I feel like for the past few years, we have been nothing but just looking at each other for who we are supporting or who we are with or who we are. And I would love to see some things start to change for the better. And if that's with Trump in office, I hope he can change his ways, change his narrative. Just like Biden, I would hope that he comes in and he kicks ass and he changes his narrative and does something for the betterment of the entire country. Because that's what we need. Someone who's going to support the country. Every single last one of us. Anyway, guys, I got to get going. I just wanted to make sure I told you guys I would be on when Biden came up to speak. I hope you guys enjoyed that, video. SG, I do agree. Media did a lot of damage. Media did not do a whole lot of good. Media did muck it up pretty hardcore. I agree with that, SG. Real talk. But anyway, I do got to get going. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not taking any phone calls of any sort tonight. But I will try to be going. I will try to come on tomorrow so we could talk a little bit about everything. I got a very early morning tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, guys. So tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon sometime, I'll try to come on and we could chop it up then. Okay. But I appreciate all y'all for coming on and chopping it up with me. Please do me a favor. Please be the kindest people in the world, part of the Pascal Show family, and just go crush that like button down below. And if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. That would mean the world to me. Okay. Real talk. Anyway, guys, I got to get going, but I will talk to you guys tomorrow for show. All right. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys soon. All right. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.